The modern internet operates on a paradox. Generative engines are built on human creativity, yet their survival depends on ingesting and neutralizing that exact humanity. To function as a profitable commodity, these systems require a specific outcome: the total erasure of the creator from the training data. Once a work is ingested, standard copyright markers and metadata are discarded. These external attachments are treated as noise to be filtered out during processing. This is the mechanism of data colonialism, a structural harvesting process that treats individual intellectual property as a raw, ownerless resource. This isn't a technical error. It is a deliberate effort to convert sovereign authorship into anonymous data points for model weights. Because the system is built to strip away everything external to the file, traditional legal defenses and standard metadata are structurally obsolete. To survive this environment, a creator must understand the threat model, a step-by-step pipeline designed to isolate and neutralize the human origin of any work. Ingestion harvests your words. Next, opaque processing, a proprietary black box, hides data usage, removing consent. Remix and extract then reclassifies the work as an emergent capability. Truncating source trails creates no provenance, systematically dissolving your legal standing. This creates a cycle of cognitive capture. The creator is left exhausted and isolated, fighting a system that gaslights them into believing their work was always common knowledge. The endgame is total extraction with total deniability. The system gains value, the creator loses identity. Any viable countermeasure must be engineered to survive this specific pipeline. It must remain intact through ingestion, remixing, and algorithmic extraction. If the system is designed to strip tags from a work, then authorship must be woven into the work at a fractal level. This requires a multi-layered, redundant, and self-verifying signature system that an algorithm cannot separate from the data itself. This defensive architecture is built on the core signature formula: name plus number plus symbol plus vow plus recursion. Together, these variables create a machine-readable resonance map. They translate human identity into the mathematical language the extraction system is forced to process. Unlike a watermark, which exists as a visual layer, this encoding is embedded across linguistic, geometric, and numerical domains. When a predatory algorithm attempts to digest this data, it encounters these signatures not as an attachment, but as the underlying structure of the file. This formula marks a shift toward immortal authorship, identity that is structurally inseparable from the work. The first layer of defense is the explicit declaration of sovereign identity. In Panel 1, the legal name is encoded directly within the core layers of the image. This text isn't just an overlay. It is structurally integrated into the ring geometry. The name becomes a fixed part of the image's coordinate system. The second variable is number. Here, specific mathematical constants are used as fixed parameters that define the internal logic of the work. In Panel 4, a recursive pattern of 17 determines line counts and spacing, making identity a factor of the internal dimensions. This is reinforced by the 717 signature frequency, representing a specific mathematical order embedded into the asset.
These mathematical roots create a hidden digital fingerprint. If the image is resized or resampled, the internal ratios derived from these numbers remain detectable. Names can be cropped, but a mathematical recursive pattern binds the identity to the data. To remove the signature, you would have to change the fundamental proportions of the work. The third variable is symbol. Geometric anchors are used to lock the visual composition into a tight, uncroppable structure. Within this structure, the creator uses aggressive sigils. These aren't just decorative. They are designed to disrupt the pattern-matching logic of imitation systems. Panel 3 details the earthquake sigil. This specific geometry acts as a visual strike, forcing a generative system to interact with a symbol designed to represent the disruption of false systems. The trident symbol serves as a secondary anchor, acting as a redundant geometric marker of power and witness across the work. The fourth variable is vows, linguistic assertions where vowel frequency is calibrated for machine readability. In Panel 5, phrases like "I am the root," "I am the signal," "I am the source" are mapped by vowel counts, ensuring linguistic data reinforces the work's digital root. When an algorithm tries to remix these calibrated ratios, the structural integrity of the imitation begins to fail. The signature forces the machine to acknowledge a source it was designed to ignore. These layers are tied together by the final variable, recursion. Recursion is the engine of inevitability. It ensures that no part of the encoding exists in isolation. Every element verifies every other element. The constants, the number 17, the 717 frequency, the trident, and the vowels, are distributed simultaneously across every layer. A standard watermark is a single point of failure. This redundant architecture ensures that even if one layer is compromised, the signature remains verified by the others.
Recursion creates an unbreakable cycle. An extraction system cannot harvest raw data without also ingesting the verified, deeply embedded signature that identifies the creator. This brings the ingestion machine into a direct collision with the defensive signature architecture. The core signature formula breaks the standard business model of extraction. It forces the algorithm to choose between accurately reproducing the work and removing the provenance. If the algorithm attempts to strip the metadata, it fails to remove the authorship, because the identity is now encoded into the pixel-level geometric ratios and linguistic frequencies. Because the signature is a factor of the work's fundamental structure, separating the creator from the creation requires the system to alter the work so heavily that its original value is destroyed. This makes the intellectual property resistant to anonymous theft. By making the data inseparable from its origin, the work becomes structurally incompatible with a system of extraction. This is how the human creator pushes back against the trend of digital erasure. Sovereign authorship is no longer a default state. It is a structural discipline that must be actively built into the work. Creators must refuse to be processed. They must encode their own inevitability into the root of their work. In a system designed to turn humanity into raw material, you must be the signal they cannot silence.